Always great catching up with my next guest, Jordan Wright, who is back in action. He's going to be dropping down to his natural weight class of middleweight, taking on Joaquin Buckley at UFC 255 on November 21st. Jordan, how's it going, man?
I'm great, James. Great. Feeling really good. Training's going really well. Diet's perfect, and feeling fantastic. How are you feeling?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you asking. Not everyone asks how I'm doing, but I am doing well. It's good to hear.
You, bro.
Yes, no, for sure, man. It's great. And of course, we talked after that big win in the UFC debut. Here you are fighting in November. Was this the right amount of time off for you?
Oh yeah, it's perfect. I mean, I always stay in shape. I'm always ready to go. The more time they give me beforehand, the better. But, I'm one of those guys that's always in the gym. They always, Sensei Anthony's always trying to keep me ready. And I love being in the gym. So it really wasn't too short notice or anything for me.
How excited were you to fight Joaquin Buckley just with the amount of attention he got after his viral knockout win?
It's really perfect timing, to be honest. I think we're both coming off of really good wins, and there's a lot of eyes on both of us. So it's kind of cool that it's sort of like a merger of that. But let's be honest. I mean, his knockout was so viral that the eyes are, I think, especially on him. But I'm not afraid to take what he has.
Yeah, and not just that, but your style as well is very unique. You bring a lot of different things to the table. I was just talking to Devin Clark earlier today. We brought you up, obviously.
Oh, no way!
Yeah, because I know you guys obviously used to train together. And, he mentioned, because I was talking to him about you and how, obviously you made it to the UFC. And I know you guys, the team over at Jackson Wink, you guys are very much still in touch, a lot of those guys over there. But he mentioned just how athletic you are and how, you're very unpredictable when it comes to the weight class and all that. So that's why I love this fight, because, people know Buckley for his knockouts, but you've got some pretty cool stuff in your toolkit as well. And we obviously saw that in display in the debut, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been a finisher ever since I was an amateur. It's not something that people, I think, really look into when they think of me. But I mean, all my wins are by finish. But that is not like something new. That's been a trend of my whole life. And it's funny. People always kind of look at me like I'm this kind of like dorky Los Angeles kid. But like ever since I was a teenager, like I put a glove or I put my shin on people, the look on their face is always hilarious. They're always just like, oh man, I did not think he was going to hit that hard. I'm definitely a martial artist at heart, but I'm also a fighter and I'm very athletic. I've been an athlete ever since I was a kid. So yeah, it's something that, again, I guess just based on my look, people just kind of disregard. But
looks are deceiving in this sport, right? You know what I mean? So
exactly, looks aren't everything. So
yes,
yeah,
there you go. No, I agree with that. Training camp, we sort of talked about it last time. I know, obviously, you made the switch, training with Anthony Hargon, training with the janitor Vladimir Matyushenko, who has one of the best nicknames ever.
Yes.
What about training partners? Who do you mainly get to work with over there?
So there's a few training partners that I have. So one in particular, his name is Lucas Drews, and he's an amateur kickboxer. He's had a whole bunch of fights, but he's really a pro. Like he was supposed to make his pro debut, but the thing is with COVID, the kickboxing.
And in California, it's really tough to get fights right now, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So we're trying to get him a kickboxing fight right now, but he's sort of in a weird limbo. But he's just training nonstop with me, so his skills aren't deteriorating one bit. There's another Marcus Gottlieb, who's also an amateur kickboxer. Sean Crenshaw, who's an amateur MMA fighter and amateur kickboxer. And over at my other gym, because I do most of my training over at Dynamics with Sensei Hardonk and Coach Vlad. But over at Marumbi Jiu-Jitsu, Fabio Leopoldo is my jiu-jitsu coach. And we have fighters over there too, Kevin Crane, who is the Tough Enough champion, and John Hernandez, who is a 3-0 professional MMA fighter as well. So I'm getting a lot of work with a lot of really high level guys on the regular, and guys who are really specialists, like while Kevin and John are mostly jiu-jitsu guys. I mean, John he boxed amateur as well, but like they're very much, they're black belts in BJJ and they're very high level. Whereas, Lucas and Sean and Marcus, they're very high level kickboxers. So I'm training with guys who are specialists in their own aspect. So they're really bringing the best out of me.
And you're customizing it, right? Like it's not like it's not like you're going to a big gym and you get lost in the shuffle. Like you're doing things that are specific to the needs that you need for a fight camp, right? Which is, pretty good, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I've been doing martial arts my whole entire life. I started off as the karate kid, moved on to Muay Thai and kickboxing, eventually got into, smaller MMA gyms, went to Jackson Wink, which is a really big MMA gym. And then kind of, move back to California and training with high level coaches, but not at these big factory gyms. And it works for some people, but for me personally, I've seen how those gyms work. I know that they're always not all cracked out to be. You don't get a lot of attention a lot of the time. And, it's sort of, they spread themselves a little thin. So right now I get a lot of focus, I get a lot of attention, and it's a small pool because I'm not the only one that gets a lot of attention. The other fighters there get a lot of attention too because there aren't a lot of us, and so we get to really get that iron sharpens iron high level of training, and it's just been fantastic.
How's the cut going to 85? I mean, you fought at 85 your whole career. It's nothing new, but now that you've got like a full camp and all that, I imagine the cut's going well.
Oh yeah. It's, like I said before, I'm a big 85er, but I'm super disciplined. The weight cut's never really that big of an issue.
Have you hooked up with Trifecta since you've been in the UFC, getting the meals delivered and all that, or do you still do your own thing?
I haven't. I've thought about it, but we'll see. We'll see. It might be something that I dabble into. The thing with those meal programs, I don't know. Like I've heard people just that they get into them, but then they're just hungry all the time. It's like they're eating, but I don't know if they're getting enough calories. But we'll see. Maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And then in terms of your corner, is it going to be Anthony and Vlad, or who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
Yes, Anthony, Vlad, and Fabio.
Excellent. And how's this? I know I always ask you this, and you're always like, "Oh, it's obviously I can't predict or whatever." But I mean, it's going to be an exciting fight. I mean, there's probably going to be a finish in this fight. It's probably going to be spectacular. Early, late, like what are you seeing with this fight? Come on, give me a little bit here. I know you don't want to give away the game plan.
Victorious, and I see me getting the finish.
Okay, there you go. Just keep it as simple as that.
Yeah.
Is the plan, I guess, enjoy the holidays after this fight, assuming all goes well, and just sort of get back at it next year? Or do you want to stay on standby in case something comes up during the holidays?
I'd love to stay on standby. Like I said, I love being in the gym, and I love training, and I love staying ready. Yeah.
Jordan, can't wait for this fight. UFC 255, November 21st. Always appreciate the time, man. Anyone you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to plug? Any social media? The floor is yours.
Like always, I want to thank God. Thank you. I want to thank my mom. I want to thank my dad. I want to thank my coaches, my team. I want to thank you, James, for this opportunity. And yeah, thank you.